Hi, I'm Sandy O'Connor, and this is Artist Showcase. Well, we have a very interesting show that I think you're going to like, and I'm going to introduce you to Ron Sarno, who is the director of Chasing Dreams, our musical that will be performed on October 19th, 20th, and 21st, right here in the Performing Arts Center on stage. So, Ron.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So you and I had a chat sometime in June when you called all about what the Theater Guild was about.
Exactly.
And that's how it all started. And then we kept talking, and I kept finding out about your background. So tell me a little bit about your background, and tell me why you wanted to do this director job, because it is a job.
Well, firstly, I wanted to get back involved with the theater because I've spent many, many years going to theater, number one, particularly the legitimate theater, which is my passion. Every time I walk into a theater, I just get emotional. And I love the emotion of the performers on stage and reading their lines and just acting out these characters that they never even knew they were. And I love that part of it. So when I moved into the village here, I sort of started thinking about getting back involved in the theater. And so I contacted you as well for the Theater Guild to join the Theater Guild. And we had this wonderful conversation about my background and having been involved with the Long Beach Civic Light Opera, the Carpenter Performing Arts Center, many organizations in the arts business, the Long Beach Symphony. And the more we talked, the more we felt we had a connection of what we wanted to see happen with the Theater Guild. And being a promoter as well, I'm an event planner, I'm a fundraiser, I do all of those things, and all of that kept coming back to me about how can this Theater Guild become a little bit more than, because I didn't know anything about it, and I wanted everybody to know about it. So that's why I said, you asked me to go to some auditions and check out the talent, and that's what I did, and fell in love with the people, the actors, the people that came to perform for us those 2 days were just beyond. I mean, their passion for what they were doing and their love of it. And that's where the theme for Chasing Dreams came from was those 2 days before I was even asked to direct this show, came from that day. And taking the talent that I had just seen for 2 days and putting it into a piece that we could present to the rest of the community. And that's how Chasing Dreams came.
One of the most exciting parts of this, from an observer, is there's a lot of new people who have never been in a show before in this show.
Yes, exactly.
And I know that can be a challenge, but it also can be tremendously rewarding for them and for you.
Right.
So how do you feel about all that?
Well, again, this is a community theater group. And everybody that belongs to this community loves the theater. Obviously, that's why they're here. Some of them may have had a dream of once, maybe years ago, thinking about, oh, I would like to do that, or not even necessarily be performing, but be involved in some way with a production of this type.
And we hear that a lot. We do hear that. And we heard that from the new people. I just want to be involved somehow.
Yes.
And then some of them got more involved than they thought they would. But they were able to do it, right? They were able to do it.
Right.
So
that's what I loved about it the most, is these women that came forth particularly, and some of the men, that had never been on stage before, or read a line or memorized a line for a show, was so enthusiastic, and they were my driving force. For me, that was a big part of why I wanted to expand this to the cast that we have, which is the largest cast, I think, pretty much that.
Close to it. It's a little over 40 people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so managing that is interesting as well, as we know.
It is. Yes,
right, but you know, it's just a case of once they get the bug, maybe not all of them, but there'll be a certain number of those people that will never stop from this day forward. I mean, it happened to me personally. It's happened to many of my friends that I know. You do one show and that's it. You are committed for whatever, right?
Yeah, at whatever level you want to be involved in it. It doesn't necessarily have to be performing. The backstage stuff that goes on is so important.
So critical to every show.
The sound, the lighting, I mean, the costuming, the makeup, the hair, all of those things that people can become a part of, and not necessarily have to stress learning lines, because some people are uncomfortable being the center of attention.
Right.
You and I aren't, but
No, but there's
there are
there are
people.
those.
There
yes.
are those.
And yet they can make great contributions.
Exactly.
Right?
And
I mean,
they can
do.
still contribute at a level that they feel that they're participating in something and giving it their all, which this cast has just been amazing, including Barbara and Estelle writing this from the beginning and then helping with that. That was a great experience for me as well, and learning from them a little bit more about what Theater Guild does and the different projects that we'd like to get involved in. Now I say we because now I'm a Theater Guild member, so
You're in.
I'm in.
But don't you think it's the key is the collaboration idea?
Absolutely.
I mean, you collaborate,
Yes.
in this case, on the writing, you collaborate on the directing, you collaborate with the cast on what needs to be accomplished.
Yes.
And that,
Yes.
I think, is what is really key in any theater.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
In
I
any
agree.
theater.
You have to connect with the cast, because if you don't, and the characters that they're playing, and I can see the vision of how that needs to look. And maybe they don't right away, but that's my job, is to bring that out in them so that they actually become that character. So I always ask them to, when they're here in rehearsals, we assume that character that you're in. We call you by that name.
Yes.
And that helps them build that character to their, what they want to project and how they want to project that character. So I'm good about that sort of detail.
Your style as a director, and every director has a different style, because I've been fortunate to work with many here.
Yeah,
and they all have their strong points, and they're all different. So how would you explain your style of directing, I guess is what I'm trying to ask you.
Well, I think number one, I'm not in this thing alone. I'm involved with 40 other people, and I listen. And I listen to what they have to say. And they have many times come up with some ideas that really work better than the way we had it written in the first place. And so I do listen, and I acknowledge them for that. And I think that's an important part of encouraging them to, again, be free with their, not just blurt it out, but they're all very polite and respectful.
And they're comfortable.
And they're
comfortable
become comfortable.
saying, I think I could
Yes,
present this
exactly,
idea. Right.
Exactly. Just like all of the entourage that we've created that goes with this show, they're the most excited I think I've ever seen anybody in this. And I know you're running the entourage group. You're the captain of that. So they're wonderful. They're all wonderful girls, really.
And we're actually going to feature them on the Thrive Show,
Yes.
which is
Oh.
another show that they're going to be featured on because of the fact that they haven't been in theater before, or it's been so long, you know. So we're going to feature them so that
Nice.
we show this aspect of people coming into the village, getting a little bit involved, and all of a sudden they're thriving because they're having so much fun, right? So that is, and I'm all amazed too, because I'm amazed at the way they took off with it. So we'll talk more to them about that when we film the Thrive Show, which will happen in the next couple of days. So how do you feel about the progress of the show? Because I know it's challenging when you're in a community like this, and it's a senior community. You have the challenges of other things they're involved in, doctor's appointments. I mean, all kinds of things. Sometimes family issues come up.
True.
And it's almost unavoidable. It really is unavoidable. So is that something that has been a little challenge, or do you feel like you thought it might happen that way?
Honestly, no, I didn't think it would happen that way, but being the type of person I am, I'm committed. Sick or not, I'm there. I show up. Appointments, yes, I understand that emergencies come up at certain times, but we all go through the process during the audition portion of availability,
Right.
so that we know going in if you're not going to be available for certain
work.
dates,
Right.
and dates that we're rehearsing your scenes, because we're not doing everything. We don't rehearse every scene every day. We take sections of the play and we rehearse it. So nobody's standing around waiting all day long. If
Which
they're
is
in,
good.
You know, it's more comfortable, a comfortable way to do that. But
Well, now we're only a month away. So
Yeah.
so now starting next week, we'll have Act 1 and Act 2 rehearsals.
Exactly.
And we will be doing them in the evening because of that also accommodates people who are working, because we do have people that are still working part-time, full-time.
Yes.
Not a lot, but we want to
Yes.
accommodate those people. And then from then on starts October, which will be the big push, because we're only talking 3 weeks away then.
Yes.
Right.
It's going to be a big push. You're right.
Right.
Absolutely. But I just kind of go with the flow. I mean, I can't let something hold me back from where I need to go. So if somebody doesn't get here for the rehearsal, we just have somebody else jump in and do their role. We don't change the scene. We don't stop the scene. We film it. I mean, we don't film it, but we practice, we rehearse with that individual. And there are always people that are willing to do that too.
Yes, and every show I've ever been in,
yes.
you know, sometimes it'll be a stage crew person that happens to be there that
Yes.
day, and they'll jump in and get the script and read the part. So, but again, that's collaboration, you know.
Yes,
That,
it is.
And I think one other aspect I wanted to talk about no part is too small, there's just small actors.
That's right, exactly. That's been my theme from the beginning, hasn't it? Yeah, because I think every word, every movement, everything in this play has to be done in a manner that is professional, number one. So that role is just as important as a speaking role, or something that's in 3 acts rather than 1 act or 2 acts. In the background, the entourage, I call it, that's the background, because my background with Hollywood and being there for a while and being involved in the background acting and extra acting, I realized how important that is to a scene. That's why we created the entourage, to just fill in and make it more believable, more real, and people are milling around or whatever they happen to be doing. They're not speaking, but their movement, and they call it kind of play acting, but quietly.
Right,
You
and it's
know?
sort of like in
It
the
is-
movies. I mean,
yes,
there's all the
exactly.
extras, right?
Always,
There's
always.
extras, and they're not saying a
Important.
word, but they're very important to the
Right.
whole process.
Exactly. That's the importance of it. You're absolutely right. So
Well-
I think in collaboration with people, and people like yourself that have been involved here, you've taught me a lot. I loved all of the things that you've given me, and
Oh, thank you.
places that, no, it's been very important for me, because I'm new to this community as far as the Theater Guild is concerned. I've been here for 5 years, but still, I was never involved in the theater, and I'm back where I belong.
Good,
That's
good.
right.
And the exciting part is that we are actually going to take a bigger look at this in the next segment of the show, which is to show some of the actual scenes that are going on. We also hope to talk to the musical director,
Yes,
Kirk.
yes.
And that's a wonderful thing to have, because he actually is a professional at this. So,
Absolutely.
so that's going to be fun for everybody. So we look forward to moving forward and making this whole show something that will appeal to everyone and say, I just have to be there on October 19th, 20th, or 21st.
Exactly.
Right?
I agree, because we're all chasing dreams of some
Yes.
sort of dream. We're all chasing it. So let's be there.
So we'll be moving forward now, and we are, in fact, going to look at some of the ongoing things that are happening with the rehearsals, so you get a feel for what it really takes to put a show together. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. They come in, they sit down, they enjoy it, they tell us, gee, that was wonderful, that was fun, but they also don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, which is a lot of work and a lot of rehearsal. So we're going to show you a little bit of that, so you'll get a real feel for it.
If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, I believe in angels. When I know the time is right for me, I cross the street. I have a
Right. You start moving out, yeah.
In a world where seniors are often discarded and thought of as has-beens and past their prime, there is community theater. Oh, it's not Broadway, it's not even off-Broadway, but a place where those who have dreams of finding something new in their lives, or just chasing a dream from their youth, can express themselves.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
I'm with Carla Vigos, and she is the dance captain for Chasing Dreams. So Carla, tell me how this all came about that you became the dance captain.
Well, we're friends, and I had told you about my dance experience, and all of a sudden, last 4th of July, Ron came to a party that we were having and was going to direct this show, and thought, ding, I think Carla could be the dance captain. So 21 years ago, I was involved with the Modesto Dance Company, and I was a tap teacher, and I substituted for ballet and jazz, and haven't danced in 21 years. But this opportunity came, and I thought, why not? Let's just go for it and try it. Let go of your fear. That's what we've done in Theater Guild. Mary Zolli said early in the season, let go of your fear. So that's what I did, and embrace this. Now it's fun and
Happening. And I also remember that I talked to Carla early on about how would you like to get involved in Theater Guild, and then she always said dance.
yeah,
She always said dance.
Yeah, acting is not my forte, but dance I can do. I can kind of see. I can correct people.
Because you were a teacher.
I was a teacher, and got the tappers involved in my my routine, which is 24 karat Bruno Mars, and we've made it really kind of hip.
Oh, it's very hip.
And
it's very hip.
they love it because it's something different for them.
Yes.
And learning new movements, and not maybe really in their wheelhouse, but they're having fun.
And they're doing it. That's
they're
the best
doing
part.
it, yeah.
And then I know you have another dance that you're doing towards the end of the second act with 4 of the 6 dancers.
Yes.
And what is that all about?
That's called Rich Man's Frug, and it's kind of like an Austin Powers, real disco-y, real campy number that Linda's put together.
And Linda Rogers is another gal who we know from Theater Guild who has been in many shows and danced in many shows.
Yes.
Right.
I'm a novice with this. This is my first time with this theater group here doing dance.
But you wouldn't know it. When you see the numbers, when you see the show, you're going to understand that this dancing is really good, and it's different from anything we've ever done because it's not just simple steps. It's got a lot of interesting steps and a lot of variety.
Yeah, and I see the progression with the memorization and the feel for the dance, and the girls are just loving it. So encouraging people just to come out and try Theater Guild. Do something that you're not real comfortable with, but we'll get you there.
Right,
We'll
and
have
one of the
fun
dancers
doing
is
it.
that way. I mean, she had not done anything in theater, but
No.
she does know how to dance.
Yeah, she does know how to dance.
And so she's doing a great job. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody is. I'm really encouraged.
I know. And tell me a little more about what Ron is asking you to do besides just the dances, because there's some other things.
Yeah, so now with the singers in this show, he wants some sort of movement with them, because they're just standing there. So I'm having him do box steps and, swinging their hands just to go with the songs. And I think it's going to be real good, really, really good.
And then I saw you coaching another gal last night because she's playing a specific role.
Oh, Mae West.
Or Mae West, and she wanted to help her to get the persona of Mae West.
Yes.
So because I'm here watching the rehearsals, I noticed that, and that is really, I could tell that I think she felt better after you told her about it.
Everybody needs just a little bit of direction, and I can see it. That's my forte, is just to see.
So what's happening today, Ron?
What's happening today is we're going to be rehearsing Act 2, and we're going to be doing it without our musical director, unfortunately, and our stage assistant manager, but we're going to do it with CD music tonight, so it'll be fine. So it's our first run through, so we're looking forward to getting our blocking done and getting their lines correct. That's important.
What's the most important thing for you to do as the director right now?
Patience. Patience.
Yeah, you gotta let
It's a
it get
work.
into it.
It's got to. It's a work in progress, and we're just everybody's doing the best they can. So, and we've got a lot of sick people out, so we're trying to fill in, and yeah, it's been challenging.
So this is where you get it all negotiated, whatever he needs to do and where they need to be. Right?
Yes, this is what we do. And it constantly changes. So you have to be on your feet.
Yeah, be fluid, right?
Exactly.
If you need a line check, Suzanne is right there. Okay, so just go to Suzanne. Lee.
Trouble in paradise so soon? As Rocky and Judy are cast in the leads in Curtain Up, is the curtain coming down on their budding romance? It's opening night, and the cast is buzzing. And who is Sweetie?
I just can't believe it. I really thought that Rocky would be different. He was on his friggin' cell phone. I love you, sweetie.
Men, did I tell you about my Harvey? He cheated on me. He had an affair with a taxidermist behind my back. The nerve, the gall, the guts. So I told him to go get stuffed.
That good one! Stuffed taxidermist. Ava, too, had heartbreak. How could he leave me for some tiny little American girl named Doris?
What was the name of that creep?
Boris.
You're kidding. Boris and Doris? At least it wasn't Natasha.
Right.
Who is this Natasha? Do I know her?
Never mind. No.
Look at him. He's over there looking this way like nothing happened.
Hey guys, Judy looks upset. What do you think's going on over there?
Don't ask me. I've got bad luck when it comes to women. Once I mention I'm a proctologist, it's bottoms up for me. That's really crappy.
But Rocky here, he's a
Chick magnet.
chick magnet.
Yeah.
A love guy.
Still?
Oh, guys. Come on. Yeah, I've been around the block a few times, but Judy, wow, she's something really special. But at least I thought she was. I don't know, maybe it's not me.
Hey, maybe that horny director made a pass at her.
You mean the little short guy?
Yeah, that one.
Big girls don't cry.
Walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son.
Big girls don't cry.
They
Walk
don't
like a
cry.
man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son. This woman's worth crawling on the earth, so walk like a man, my son.
My girl, say goodbye,
My,
Oh,
my.
My, oh,
Walk like a
my.
man.
We got another line.
Yeah,
Can we
they had
do
a-
all
Sorry.
the lines?
I'm through with you. Yeah, what she said.
What she said.
My bad. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Read your script and don't step on anybody's line.
Apologies. Yeah, they have two lines there.
Mother is so proud of you. Oh, mwah. It's like a dream come true. My son in a musical, and he's not gay.
Oh, sweetie, pipe down. You're embarrassing me.
So I hear there's someone special in your life.
Yeah.
Is that her? Is that Judy? Yoo-hoo, Judy!
Judy, I'd like you to meet someone else very special to me in my life. This is my mother, Sweetie.
Oh my God. You call your mother sweetie?
Yeah.
You left too soon.
Everybody calls me sweetie. Come here, let me look at you. Oh my God. Hello, gorgeous. What a lovely girl.
Oh, and it's lovely to meet you too, Mrs. LeBong.
Mrs. LeBong is my mother-in-law. Call me sweetie.
Okay, sweetie. Judy and I have to run lines, so I have to get you off stage now.
Now listen, Angel. It took me 3 trains and a bus to get here. And you put me in the balcony? Not that I'm complaining.
All right,
but
we'll
I'm
talk after the
complaining.
show. We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
Bye, it was nice to meet you, Mrs.
Bye,
Sweetie.
We're coming through. Nothing can stop us now. Watch out, world, we're warning you. Nothing can stop us now. Now we know that there is a promised land. We're gonna find it, and how. Hope is high and we're gonna cling to it. Tie every string to it, give everything to it. We'll make all our dreams come true. Before our final bow, how we'll do it, who can say? But we know we will someday. Watch out, world, we're on our way. Nothing can stop us, nothing can stop us, nothing nothing can stop us now.
Yeah, you remember?
What's it like to come here and watch plays?
I enjoy it as much, I think, as being on stage. Of course, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I do love being on stage. But then when I come and I sit here and I watch other performers, I enjoy it because I'm rooting them on, I guess. I mean, I feel like I want them to be really good, and they are. At least I think so. And that's also a learning opportunity because you learn more about characterization and it really helps you as an actor. But just as a audience participant, it's thrilling to know that we have this huge theater here and we put on all these productions by the Theater Guild, the Old Pros, and other groups that come in here, and it's just a great thing to have it. I mean, we might have to travel a mile or less to get here, and we can sit here and watch all these people do their creative thing, and it's pretty exciting. And I go to professional theater a lot too, at Segerstrom, the Laguna Playhouse, and actually I feel the same way when I'm there. But I think what's special about this is that most of these people, if they've had a professional background, they aren't doing that anymore. They're doing it here in the community, and they're doing it just to keep themselves active in the theater. I mean, they're not doing big professional work anymore. And I remember talking to one actor who'd done a lot of work in New York, who lives here, and she just said, I just sort of wanted to be back in the game, but not in the way that I used to be. I just wanted to be in the game like I'm doing now, which is being with fellow actors, performing, and just having a great time. So that's really the way I feel about it as well. We have a really special segment for you right now, and I think I'm going to direct this to all the men in the village. On October 19th, 20th, and 21st, the wonderful show Chasing Dreams will be performed. But we have an extra added feature. We have a red carpet. We have 4 celebrities who are going to be working the lobby, and they will want to meet you, and you will want to meet them. And so you will meet Marilyn Monroe, you will meet Cher, you will meet Kim Novak, and the famous cartoon character Betty Boop. Now what's going to happen, they're going to be dressed to the nines. They're going to look like their characters. You will be amazed how much they look like their characters. And they will be talking to you, flirting with you, having fun with you, and making the whole beginning of the show something to be really excited about.